Abdominals here, abdominals there. You can train your abdominals almost anywhere. Find out how you can strengthen yours when we come back. Whether young or old, abdominal muscles are muscles that you need to be strong and healthy and have great posture. You may think to yourself you're long past the time in your life when having tight abs are important. Oh, but think again, because abdominals are key players in supporting your postural alignment, in lessening or even reducing to completely diminishing back pain, and even in helping with digestive functioning. So abdominal strengthening is a key to a long and happy and healthy life. Let's look at the abdominals on the muscle chart and talk about their function in a little more detail. Here we see in the green the first layer and the anterior or uppermost layer of the abdominals. This green layer is known as the rectus abdominis. This is the layer, and as you can see, it has ligamentous cartilage running through the center, and that is what you see when you look at the cover of a magazine and see a person who has abdominals that are chiseled. Peeling those off, underneath we have two layers known as the external and the internal obliques. And here they are, you can see them from the side. The obliques run in a cross-grain way. One layer runs over top, going inward, and the underneath layer runs going outward. So they crisscross each other, and they're very strong fibrous tissues. Underneath all of these abdominals, not able to see it on this muscle chart, is an abdominal muscle called the transverse abdominal. And basically the transverse abdominal is a very large sheet of muscle that covers the entire front of the abdomen and the torso. It goes all the way down into the top of the hips from or about at the sternum. So it's a very large sheet of muscle. All four of those muscles are necessary to train in order to have strong abdominals. Now, in order to train your abdominals, you can train them whether you can stand or sit or get on the floor or do many other creative types of movements. What we're going to do today is take you through a workout from standing at the highest level down to the lowest level, and there'll be something for absolutely everyone. So stand up with me, let's get warmed up, and we're gonna start just by facing nice and tall, shoulders back, hips, knees and toes facing the television. Take a big breath in, bring those arms up. Your eyes drop down and you're going to pull up on the middle of your body. And you want to feel that layer of abdominals stretching up, 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 up. And now lift up and over slightly to your right. As you do that, you're going to feel those obliques stretching up and slightly over to your left. And again, stretching those obliques. Now, come back to the center and just open the chest up. You drop your hands behind your back and you just open your chest and stretch through. Good. All right. Now, feeling long and tall in your abdomen, you want to support yourself by feeling this muscle lifted up. What we're going to start with is a very mental type of exercise. We're going to think about zipping a very tight zipper, much like you would do if you were wearing a wetsuit. So from the bottom of the abdomen, put your hand on your belly and think of zipping up and zip. And as you do, you want to exhale the air from the side. You should actually see the change in the muscle and really pull. Pulling up and in from the very bottom, up and in and up and in. And this one you can get to where you can stand in a grocery line and you can actually be working your abdomen while waiting in line. So you can actually physically be doing something to help your posture and to strengthen your muscles while you're doing nothing less than standing in line. All right, once you've got that idea, go ahead and take the same thing to the chair. Let's sit down. Okay, now, sitting up in your chair, don't lean back on the edge of your chair. You can sit back just enough to feel comfortable. All right, now we're going to do the same zipping up feeling. Zip up and down. Pull up and down. And if you need a little more support, you can put your hands on the sides of the chair and think of lifting up and down. Now, as you do this, we're going to add a leg lift. And we're going to go up and down. Pull up and down. 2 and down. And as you do this, you want to think of everything scooping in and up way deep inside you, feeling like everything in the interior of the body is lifting up and inside of you. Up and inside, up and inside, up. And make sure you keep breathing as you do this. 2 more. 1 more. And stop. Now, if you say to me that was very easy, great, because I have a harder one for you. We're going to be pulling both knees up, exhaling and tightening the abdominals. When you do this, you really have to get your brain down there. Don't just grab your legs and thrust. Pull up and in. So are you ready? You can put your hands on the sides of your chair or on the edges, however you're sitting, whether you have handles or not. Pulling in and up. Ready? 2, 3, and 4, and down. Pull 2, 3, and 4. And if you hold this longer, you start to feel those abdominal muscles working, and relax. Pull 2, 3, 4. See if you can keep holding. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and let it down. All right, those two-legged ones really are hard. What I suggest you do is you work up to where you can do those for about 30 seconds at a time, okay? So those abdominal exercises we've done standing and seated. We've not used any upper body at all. We've not hurt our shoulders and our neck, and we've already learned how to work our muscles in our abdomen. Now, I have a secret. When you're sitting in a theater and it's dark, you can be doing these abdominal exercises. No one will ever know. All right, now let's begin to work on the obliques. Those were the muscles on the sides of the bodies, and those are the ones responsible for rotating us and also moving us in diagonal patterns. How do we strengthen them? Well, one very simple way we can start to learn to strengthen is just to get the idea of the movement of rotation. You're going to sit even more forward on your chair. You're going to just use your arms just to stabilize you. Think about pulling up. Now remember, this is a very mental exercise, so you can't sit with poor posture and expect anything good to happen with your abdominals. You've really got to pull them up and tighten them even before you begin to move. Cross your arms across you. You're going to lean slightly backwards, getting our abdominals just a little bit facing gravity, and you're going to exhale as you rotate come back to center. Exhale and rotate. Come back to center. 2 and back. Are you doing these with me, or are you just watching? Come on. 3 and back. Now, one of the things I'm doing that's probably the most important thing about this exercise is I'm physically pulling in and up as I rotate. Yes. 5 and 5. 6. 6. 7. 7. I feel a little shaking. How about you? 8. Think about hooking some big weight on you and pulling it around you as you turn, as opposed to twisting. No twisting allowed. 1 more. Good. And relax. Okay, now that's a nice beginning to a rotational exercise designed to help you work your obliques. And also for those of you a little concerned about your waistline, that will help with that too. I've got something that is, as you can see, a very simple household object. Brooms are great tools to help increase the rotational effort. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the broom and hold it just about, in about a 3-foot wide space. We're going to bring the broom up and over our shoulders. Now, what's really important to note about this is I'm not going to put the broom on my neck. That's very dangerous. You want to make sure you get the broom down on the shoulders so you can see that it's laying on my shoulders. I'm going to get that same position I had before. Tighten the abdominals. I'm going to get into my leaning back position, really pulling tight so I don't arch my back. Shoulders down and relaxed, and I rotate as far as I can. Every time I do, I breathe out. I inhale on the way back. As I turn, I want to think about what it would be like if I was dragging a very large object hooked on to my side and I had to drag it across me and then drag it back. Do 2 more. And last one. All right, your broom can become one of your best buddies. From here on out, you can use your broom not just for housework, but you can use it to get in shape and to strengthen your abdominals. All right, now let's recap. We've worked your abdominals standing, and we've worked them seated. We've worked them including lifting the legs, as well as increasing the workout by lifting both legs. And then we've done rotation. Now, for those of you that like conventional abdominal exercises, let's go to the floor and let's talk about and do some exercises involving gravity. All right, so you can get your mat or just lay on your rug or your towel. The first thing we want to note about doing abdominal exercises when we're lying down is that it's all about the abdomen and not about the shoulders and the neck. Many times I see people straining and pushing and pulling on their necks, forcefully working. These muscles are popping, they're almost turning colors in the face. Instead, think of relaxing all of those muscles. And if you're like me and you have a little bit of a neck issue, then you're going to let your head drop heavy in your hands. You want to immediately tighten the abdomen. So I'm going to pull up and in before I do absolutely anything. I'm tightening the abdomen, and I'm going to inhale at the bottom and exhale. As I lift, I'm going to exhale. So you want to exhale all the air out. Inhale on the way down. All right, let's do these together. This is 3, 4. Now, as I do these, I just want to make some notes here. I want to make a note that as I do this, I'm keeping a space between my chin and my chest. I'm not letting my chin fall heavy. I'm going to keep my arms back. And I'm going to do the same thing whether I go to the obliques or whether I go straight up. Now, we're going to do one more here, and this one's probably one of the most important. Pulling the knees into the chest, you can crisscross your ankles for support. You're going to exhale and lift the hips. That's right. You want to make sure you exhale as you lift. Keep going. Now, I want you to keep going, but as you do, let's go see what else you can do to get fit around your house. Oh, it's morning. Oh, the newspaper. But wait before you reach for the newspaper. Have you stretched out? This is a great place to do some morning stretches. First of all, let's do the good morning stretch. Reach your arms up as high as you can and stretch through the door. Ah, that feels so good. Loosens up all the joints. Now, reach one arm across and stretch. Push that opposite hip out. Good. Big doors are great places for stretching. Over again, pressing the hip out. And now let's stretch those hard to stretch chest muscles. Turn slowly away from the elbow, pushing the elbow into the door. Good. Do it again, turning slowly away. Now one more stretch before you reach for that newspaper. Just roll that back up, press the tailbone out, and roll up, and you're ready for your morning news. The stability ball, seen here, is a great tool. And you can use a stability ball, which you can buy at any sporting goods store, in place of the mat or in place of the floor. And the most simple abdominal exercises become complex and, oh yeah, even hard. What we're going to do now is let's take, if you don't have a ball today, don't worry about it. But if you do, grab it, and let's do these very simple abdominal exercises using the ball. You ready? Okay, what we're going to do is, first of all, when you sit on the ball, you want to think about sitting deep into the ball, the spine is long, and the abdominals are already lifted. Then, don't lean back on the ball, walk forward and allow the ball to follow you until it's supporting your back. Okay. So here's your position. Abdominals are tight, and we'll start with the less complicated. Hands across the chest, chin is tucked, and you're going to exhale and down. The great thing about using the stability ball is as soon as I begin to work on the ball, I immediately feel many, many other sets of muscles that have to do the work with me. These muscles are small muscles that we don't work very often. That's good. Now, to make it harder, you simply bring the arms out beside the ears, and all of a sudden, oh yeah, you have a much, much more challenging exercise. Notice as I do these, I'm not changing my chin. I'm going to keep my neck relaxed, and all of the work is right here. Pull in, pull, and exhale. Keep going. Let's do 3 more. 2, 1. And how do I get up? I sit up, I push myself into the ball, and I just roll up. And a little bouncing will decompress your spine and take away any discomfort. Now, we can use the ball to also work our obliques. We do obliques both doing rotation, as we did in the chair, as well as crisscrossing over on the floor. The same exercise on the ball, and it becomes quite a bit harder. You ready to try it with me? Okay, let's get on the ball, sit up tall, and get your position. Roll down, abdominals tight, hands back, and think about crossing in a diagonal pattern. Breathing is essential for abdominals. Make sure you exhale upon the exertion. Keep going. Very tight every single time. It's a new opportunity to tighten the muscle, to control the contraction. Two more. One more time. And lastly, center and walk yourself right back up. That was great. Okay, now you've used the ball. If you don't have one, I suggest you look into them. They're a great tool for all kinds of fitness things. Going deeper now, we're going to go all the way to the mat and we're going to get on all fours. From the all four position, this is a great exercise to do if you don't feel like you can go all the way down to the floor. You're going to pull the abdomen tight, and as you do that, you're going to let the back round, much like a camel. So we're going to take a breath in and exhale and pull the abdomen as tight as you can. You ready? Fill up with air and come back to the starting position. As I do this, I want to deeply breathe out and feel the muscles from the deepest part of my hips up into my waistline. Good. Yes. That's right. Keep going. Let's do 2 more. Can you feel it tightening in there? And 1. All right, now, probably a brand new exercise to you is one called the hover. The hover works not only your abdominals, but many of your deep intrinsic muscles that using them will actually change your posture, your balance, and your stability, your ability to move and get around. How do we do it? Follow with me. Elbows under the shoulders. If you have a back problem, this one is optional, by the way. And I really want you to think here of tightening your glutes. So this part of you has to be very tight. You're going to curl your toes under, take a breath in, exhale, and pull up off the floor. And then you're going to hold this position, pulling your abdominals in tight and fighting gravity for all you're worth. Hold and breathe. And there'll be a little bit of shaking going on. And slowly lower back down. Woo! That was a tough one. Now, let's try it one more time, and I want to see if you can hold it with me for at least a count of 20. You ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're halfway. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Don't give up. 17, 18, 19, 20. Drop it down. Breathe in. And thanks for joining me on Fit, Fabulous, and Over 50. But don't go away. Let's see what you can find out at Montgomery College from Jacqueline Pressey.
Joining me today is Chris Harrison from the Montgomery College Wellness Program. The wellness tip today is on posture and your workstation. Chris?
Thank you, Jacqueline. One of the biggest mistakes people make when they sit at their desk is to sit with their back unsupported by the back of their chair. This can cause, number one, poor posture and also neck and back pain. So when you sit at your desk, you need to sit back all the way into the back of the chair. If the chair does not fit you well, you have a choice of adjusting the chair back or possibly using a back rest. What I've done is made a temporary low back rest so that when Jacqueline is sitting here now, she's sitting with good posture and her back is supported against the chair. If you do have back pain, some things you can do to alleviate that is you can do some shoulder circles, shoulder pinches, squeeze your shoulder blades together, or reach back and on the other side, across your body and massage your neck yourself. Thank you.
For more information, if you're interested in techniques like this, why not take a course at Montgomery College?